Hey, Decathlon gamer, welcome back to Tour de France 24, episode 31, and we're finally there at the Tour de France, the namesake for the game. This year, the plan is to try to win the King of the Mountains jersey and the combative jersey. I want to pick up those intermediate sprints, those points at top of climbs to level us up and ultimately complete the Tour de France. I will not be playing 21 stages in this one. We are going to be focusing in on the stages that are breakaway stages. If I lose time in other stages, it's not going to be a big deal, as we are not going to be focusing on GC at all in this edition. Next year we will focus on that. We just completed the Dauphiné. We just got a 6th out of that race, and it was a very solid top 10. It was very nearly a top 5. My ratings improved after, and I expect my ratings to improve here. We're going to use this time, this opportunity, this level of competition to try to gain those attribute points so that we can be successful with it in a year's time. So looking at profile, here's stages, at least at this moment in time, that I'm targeting. Stage 1 has a lot of climbs along the way. Perfect opportunity, especially with quality of climbs, to pick up points and put the jersey on early. Stage 2 does not. It's very much a sprint stage ultimately, even though it's classified punchy. We'll quick sim Stage 2 and 3. We'll return to the front for Stage 4. It's short, 140k with 3 big climbs. It's going to be a tough stage. I don't tend to fare well with those because I have a poor flat rating and they're high tempo all the time, but we'll give it a shot because that's big points. 5, 6, traditional sprints, we'll sit those out. 7 is a time trial. I'll do that one. I need to improve at it if we're going to be successful. 8, another simple sprint. 9, that's going to be fun. I need to lead through cobbles to improve that rating, so I suppose we'll be handling Trois on stage 9 as well for the rest day. Stage 10, no need to be there. 11 is another good opportunity to get out front. Nothing to bother with for 12. 14, definitely. 15, definitely. Probably not 17. I think I would rather sit that one out, rest there. I don't think we would need 18 unless we got a real battle on our hands and we're desperate for points, but 19 would be a day to go try to finish off that jersey, and if you have to, stage 20 before the time trial on stage 21 wraps up the race. If it's wrapped up after 19, glorious. If it's not 20, you gotta go battle it out. Riders are already off the front here on stage number 1, and I can't get forward at all. I've not been able to move forward a single bike length, yet the road is completely blocked. It's starting to open up just a little bit here. There's a large number of riders already off the front, and I'm just going to go right on with them. Way too many riders off the front at this point, and yeah, this is not looking great, but it is what it is. Either we're going to have a huge breakaway or the peloton's going to be pulling back most of this, and we're going to have to reset and go again. My group got pulled back in. There are now just 4 riders left off the front. I don't have a lot of energy to attack with, but obviously if I don't go right away, there's no way it's going to happen as the peloton immediately starts to set up. The gap's bigger right now than it's been at any moment since the start of the stage. 4 riders at the front. I make it 5 off the front. Millard makes it 6, which is better than the 13 we were sitting at. Peloton was initially letting it go out, but then kind of sat back up, but now they seem to be sitting up once again. It's 2 a minute, and it's growing pretty rapidly, so this might actually work. Peloton changed their mind. It was up to 1:16. It's back down to just 42 seconds. Millard made contact with me, so he and I are riding together for now. I'm using him to help pull me forward, while Tiller, from the original group of 4, has lost contact. I think he's going to go straight out the back from us. Will 5 do it? Will the peloton set up once he is gone? For now, he's able to hang on. He's recovered a little bit of energy, so he's hanging with us. Millard's getting really tired too, so I might be able to be the only one to go clear here shortly. It's time, though. I have to use my gel. I wanted to save this. The feed zone is a long ways away from now. But my only hope today is really coming down to success right here, right now. And the Peloton is really starting to come back at us. It's just 12 seconds away. So I'm going to have to... I think I'm going to have to ditch these two and go solo. There you go. I'm clear of them. Fall back into the Peloton very soon. And that the four of us now can be the break. And that is exactly what has happened. Those two very quickly went back to the Peloton. Big thing, though, is will the gap begin to go out? I've made contact with these guys. Toynes, Zimmerman, Magnus Cort Nielsen. 22 seconds ahead. Gap's coming down. Are you kidding me? How is the Peloton...
The breakaway didn't get far.
Wow.
Watch out for counter moves.
I don't have the energy. I do not have the energy to attack. So, stage one. One big failure. One big failure. And I could be in jeopardy of elimination from the Tour de France in the first stage here, as I have no energy. This first climb, if we're chasing down another breakaway here, yeah, look, I could get dropped so early in this stage that I very well could be in jeopardy of elimination. 11.7k, and I've blown up in the first kilometer. Blown up again in the second kilometer, and I'm on my own. Blown up about 6 times on this first climb. We'll see what the damage is at the top. What a crazy start to this race. Johannesson takes the first climb, first 10 points. I am 2.5 minutes behind the Peloton right now, which is not too bad. Amazingly, the Peloton's 3.5 minutes. Couldn't handle a weak group of 4 riders, so instead they get a strong group, 5 riders off the front. A much stronger group than what we had. I mean, all those names are much bigger names. Unless I am a threat. Pulled it back to 1.5 minutes behind. 6 of us now riding together. Are there anybody else behind us? Cort Nielsen and Tiller. I'm wondering how much of this group is... Yeah, Millard, Zimmerman. So the original breakaway are now working together to try to get back in contact with the field. And there is the field. We've nearly done it. And we are back in the Peloton. Back in the Peloton and with energy. But now 5 minutes behind the breakaway. So they sat up for better riders. It is what it is. Too late now. We got to just deal with it and move on and look for an opportunity later in the stage. Right now the gap's down to 4.5 minutes. We'll have to sit tight, but if that gap comes down a little bit, I'll try to bridge that gap. I will definitely not be wearing the jersey today. Speaking of jersey, though, I am wearing that current leader of the individual rankings jersey, as I moved back on top after that 6th place performance. So the gap to Pogacar, he'll have it by the end of this Tour de France. Makes it even that much easier if we are to attack. There's still 4 more climbs. There's still more chances to collect some points, though. We've missed out on an intermediate sprint today. I'm not interested in individual, like, minor placings. We just want to win the intermediate sprints. 2.5 minutes behind. Definitely starting to look at the option of trying to bridge the gap, but we're not there yet, and especially at the moment. It's suddenly out to 3.5. Gap down to 2:10. Still not quite close enough. And we're going to be down to 2 climbs here very soon. Johannesson's going to have a massive lead in the King of the Mountains after just 1 stage. That's going to be very hard to overcome later. This one only a Cat 3, and the gap is definitely still too far. I will go for it on the final climb if I can, because that could, well, not likely, but that could equal a stage. Down to just Johannesson and 1 minute. But he's going to get the 2 points there as well. There might have been 1 point. There might have been 1 point available. I could have gone for that, but I was too late to realize that was the scenario. Peloton's down to 52. I haven't really been paying much attention to my teammates here. Let's go ahead and give them a little support by telling them to use their gels. 40 seconds at a Cat 2. This is the climb. This is where I want to be. So, taking over.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Van Aert off the front. Van Aert has
This last
attack.
climb is classified as second category. The first rider over the top will score 5 points.
There's
for the
Johannesson.
polka dot jersey
So
classification.
he's been caught.
You've got to ride, guys, if you want a chance of a sprint victory.
Okay, I'm going to go off the front.
Watch out. You'll soon have no more energy for an attack.
Use the gel so that I have something to go with again. I'm 16 seconds, 13 seconds,
Watch
that
out,
is,
he's going on the attack.
ahead of the peloton right now, which is down to 27 riders, by the way. Van Aert's still ahead of me. I'm totally okay with if he somehow beats me to the top of the climb because, you know, it's Wild Van Aert. But second would at least get me started on the points. But now Pogacar is just a few seconds behind me.
He's got his teammates
I'm
riding
9
because
seconds
the rider
ahead of
who's
the
dangerous for
peloton.
stage victory has broken
But
away.
I'm going to follow Pogacar now. Don't tell me he's going to sit up, is he? Go ahead and use my other gel while we're just riding tempo. He didn't sit up, but Carapaz has bridged the gap and we're only a few seconds ahead of the peloton, what's left of it. Probably not enough to overtake Van Aert, but we are definitely coming back towards him. Nearly to the top here. Coming over the top, looking for second. Yeah, definitely looking for
The
second.
lone rider goes over the top of the
3
San
points.
Marino climb.
At least
The
we've
gap
gotten
is
something.
tiny and victory is far from decided.
And we've caught Van Aert. Ooh. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. I lost a little ground there on Van Aert, though. And this is where I want to aero tuck. Yeah, we can still aero tuck. We're okay. We're okay. Now it's 5%. That is the descent done, though. So we have got to make that contact.
The man at the front is at the base of the descent. Another 17
Ooh,
kilometers
gosh,
to the
that was
finishing
sharp.
line.
That was sharp. Very sharp turn. I think I'm going to be better going back to Pogacar now. But we are very much headed towards a stage top 5. Very unexpected.
Guys, the run into the finish harbors no danger. The roads are wide and without any bends. The final straight is 1.5 kilometers long. Go!
14K left. Nearly back to Pogacar. The Evenepoel group is only a few seconds further behind that. There we go. Into a group of 3. If they don't come through, that other group's going to catch us too. And they do. Nobody wants to come through and take a turn. There we go. Vlasov does. McNulty's in the group. Oh, wow. Okay, McNulty just got dropped, and it's actually just Vlasov and I bridging the gap to Van Aert. And that finally did it, following Vlasov. 10K. Not much energy. Evenepoel has joined us. It's funny how it said Evenepoel was separated when he had about 2 inches between him and the next spike.
We'll have to keep something in
McNulty's
reserve
22
if
seconds
we want to
behind.
get away in the final kilometers.
Landa, a minute down. Koos, minute 10. Simon Yates plus 4 other riders. Big gaps. Big gaps on the very first stage.
Go on. You'll have to play it clever in the closing stretch. It won't be easy to get away alone, but make sure you don't get caught out by an attack.
McNulty coming back at us. He saved a little something. He didn't blow up. And we're not riding hard. Gap's getting larger to those behind. We're actually going pretty fast here. There's the 1K banner. The 1K banner. Alright, riding tempo.
Give it everything you've got. It's the yellow jersey that's at
Just
stake.
soft sprint for now. Okay, now full sprint. It's not going to be a top 3. That's 5th, I think, on stage number 1. And amazingly, we're gaining time, not losing time, so that's not exactly where you want to be. We started that stage thinking we were going to possibly get eliminated from the race. Ended up finishing in the top 5, so just about worked out. But I only managed to pick up, 3 points in the KOM today, which, yeah, not good on that part. Definitely not what I was hoping for, planning for. So it's Tom Pidcock who ended up winning the stage. Van Aert, probably a little too long solo, drops to second. Skelmoza gets third. Vingegaard, myself, Pogačar, Carapaz, Evenepoel, and Vlasov. Bardet loses 10 seconds. He lost contact right at the end. McNulty was nearly a minute and a half down in no man's land, 11th place, and then already 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, distancing some soon-to-be non-contenders. For the moment, anyway, the 30 points for the stage helps draw me in closer to 500 and certainly keeps me at the top of the standings for the moment, but just 50 behind for Pogačar. That will change soon enough. Classified as a punchy stage, even though it was very flat finish. The time gaps look like it as I quick sim this. So Van der Poel, Madaway, Hershey, and time gaps galore. I finished 15th, 13 seconds down. Jay Vine was 23 seconds down. McNulty was 26. So in the current GC, Pidcock still leads. Van Aert is 1 second behind. Skelmoza at 6. I'm 10 seconds down in 4th place. McNulty remains in 11th at 1:48. Of course, those small time gaps won't have made any significant difference GC-wise. Carapaz losing the most time, it looks like. Sprint stage, Van Aert grabbed 3rd place, so with the 4-second time bonus, he moves into the overall race lead. I remain in 4th place. Pogačar and Vingegaard on the same time, and so no real changes in the classification as we head towards stage number 4. It's going to be difficult. It was already difficult. It's probably going to be more difficult to make a breakaway now from this position, though realistically it's the Tour de France and they're going to know that with a 74 mountain rating I'm not an actual threat to GC. But will they let us go? Van Aert might want to wear that jersey for more than one day. They might not let me go into the break. We'll see. We had a pretty damn hard time of it in stage 1. So far, so good here on stage number 4. Group of 13, still trying to get established. The peloton, though, where it looked like it was slowly going out, suddenly it's doing the opposite, slowly coming in, and nobody in the group is riding particularly hard at the moment besides myself, which is a worrying, it's going in a worrying direction yet again, and there's plenty of talent here, but nobody's a threat to the GC. 1 minute gap, 13 of us, but another 5 off the front. I'm kind of hoping that Zimmerman will soon just fade and go back into the group, because that seems to be the key for now. Let's go ahead and speed things up and see what happens. 17 of us now together and still just 50 seconds. We're already climbing, sort of. Slowly but surely. Through the valley, but up. 17 of us, 44 seconds to the peloton. It's going out. It's going out. Okay. We are established. They've decided that it's okay. Plenty of climbing talent, and not much of a break here. Warrenskjold drops. I would imagine that some others might as well. I don't think there's going to be a recovery portion here. I'm getting a little bit of energy back. 2 more drop, down to 10. 9. Quentin Herman's out the back. Rhoda out the back. Just 8 remain. And we're on the official climb now. The Sestrier. 8.7 kilometers, 5.7%. But of course, we've been going up for a very, very long time. Checking in on my teammates. Let's get these domestique types to use their gels. Down to 6. Down to 6 and down to 2K from the top. And Johannesson doing the work. He is the favorite. It's going to be tough to beat him. 1.4. For a turn here. Keep the pressure on. 11, it's down to 4. Gonna have to go soon. 500 meters. 500 meters. Out of the saddle. like being
Watch
punchy.
out.
5
You'll have
points.
no more energy to
Lead
attack.
at a cat 2. So
You were
that's
first over the top of the climb.
progression right
That's
there.
good.
Time to go solo for this climb. 8.7, 5.8%. And we are now solo at the base of the climb. 19 seconds ahead. I'm going to just ride
When going
100%.
downhill, the aerodynamic position
22
is
seconds
useful
ahead.
to increase speed without expending energy.
A lot of riders going out the back. Peloton's at 110. I'll probably want
This
to stop to
ascent,
check on my teammates
just like
here
the
at some
previous
stage.
one, is listed as second category. It will earn 5 points for the first, 3 points for the second, 2 points for the third, and 1 point for the fourth.
Cockard goes out the back of the peloton, but it's down to 52 for him to have still even been there is amazing. Steepest portion of this climb is nearly behind me. The race official car just crested that point. I'm going to crest that now. We're at 45 at Eatfelt out the back. And Eatfelt having a good La Vuelta, but I heard he just dropped out of it. A day ago, 3 days ago for you. I suppose I'm recording this a handful of days ahead of time. I'm trying not to record on weekends. I try to do my work during the week other than editing and posting. So limited work. Anyway, still 27 seconds ahead of the peloton, and it's down to 35 riders. We've already gelled up for the teammates, so they are in their scenario already.
If you play this right, you'll be on your own at the top of the climb.
Out to 45 seconds. So Peloton down to 34 has lost leaders. And so they are very much sitting up as we head here to
You've got a 1 minute lead over
what looks
the
like
yellow
a ski
jersey.
lift
Make sure you
of
manage
some
your
sort.
energy
Something
expenditure
along those
to
lines.
avoid hitting the wall in the final
Yeah, I'm a
kilometer.
minute ahead. I got it. 5 points. 5 points, yes. So was that. Oof, now we'll pedal. Jeez, I had to almost come to a standstill to be able to get that thing to turn. Still not enough downhill to do anything tuck-wise. I definitely did not get back to full strength. Too many switchbacks. Couldn't spend enough time in that tuck. Minute and a half. Gap's starting to come down. I want the intermediate sprint at this point. That's going to be well worth it. That'll be our 8th time leading an intermediate sprint. We need to get to 10 to complete that challenge, which will have benefits across multiple areas. I think it'll help us on our flat rating. It'll definitely help us on our sprint rating. Acceleration rating. Is it going to help my hills rating? Something along those lines. It's 2 to 4 points gained. And I do have that gel now, so I do have something to help with the climb to come, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to even come close to that climb. I will get caught before the top of it. But got, 10 points today in the King of the Mountains?
Sprint. Well done.
And apparently I'm leading for the green jersey right now. An attack group of 3 have left the peloton behind. Gap's come down a little bit to them, especially now that those 3 have attacked. So we're only a minute 8 ahead. McNulty, Vine, Paganzoli, and Chris Hamilton are left in the peloton of just 31 riders. And Simon Yates among those out the back, by the way. But now I have some help and support, and I've recovered a little bit of energy. I've already used my last gel, though. But let's see if these guys are willing to ride. And he's done. So now Vine will protect McNulty.
Okay, I'll protect him.
Paganzoli's dropped down to 32 riders, by the way. I'm going to get dropped soon. Out the back. Vingegaard goes over the top first. Pogacar, Venepul, Roglic, Thomas, Rodriguez. It's a straight descent to the finish. I am 27, 28th on the road. McNulty is Group 7. He's inside the final 5K. Pogacar takes the win. Vingegaard second. Roglic third. Evenepoel. I finally lost that time, so they'll rule me out of GC kind of stuff. I finished just ahead of Vine. Vine was right behind me there, and McNulty obviously was a little bit further up the road. Oh, Chris Hamilton is already finished too. GC pictures shaping up pretty well after just 4 stages. McNulty took 19th on the stage, 3:39 down. Hamilton was 7. I was 7:47. Vine was 7:59. In the top 30, the three of us. So gap's definitely open. I mean, 7 riders, and then it's already over a minute. Van Aert, actually, among those who was just outside of a minute. That's definitely going to start to shape up that picture. I scored good points today in the KOM, but it's not going to be enough to put myself necessarily in contention just yet. But in the GC, Pogacar leads by 1 second from Vingegaard. Evenepoel is 25 seconds behind Van Aert. Minute 15 down in 4th place. Carapaz, Pidcock, Bardet all at 2 minutes. Bilbao, Thomas, Rodriguez, Vlasov at 3. McNulty is 12th, 5.5 minutes. Pretty solid position to be in right there. I am still 19th at 7:59 down, so 8 minutes behind. Already slipping out of contention, but also I think I could probably stay in the teens or early 20s in the positions, because even though I'm going to blow up and be in multiple breakaways and things like that, there's going to be a time, usually a little later in this tour, where the breakaway will succeed. And with a successful breakaway, I can actually pull back time. I don't think I can get high enough to get in the top 10 out of that, but I think I can hover in that teens range. Will gain and lose time, but never be significantly out of it. But for the KOM, I now have 13 points. But that's quite a ways behind. That's 6th in that competition at the moment. Johannesson has 31. Most of those coming in that first day. Vingegaard has 20 from today. Pogacar has 17 from today. So it's good and bad that they're going and claiming major climbs at the end of the stages, because they score heaps of points, but they're not scoring those points normally. So you have to really be aggressive to be in multiple breakaways for something like that to succeed. In the points classification, I am 5th. Jasper Philipsen still leading there. Young rider, I am 4th. Evenepoel's going to win that comfortably, so not challenging that. We are 5th as a team, which is pretty dang good. And combativity, Derek G, currently the leader, and I'm not even on the top 14 of that competition. I am 15th at 104 kilometers. At this stage, I'm not even close to being competitive for that. But look at the top 6, all down, negative conditions. Of course, I have that as well. That can and will lead to many riders slipping off, struggling, especially the more days they spend in the break, the weaker they're going to get, and they're going to stop collecting points. I beat Johannesson pretty easily today, and I shouldn't have been able to do that. But even I am carrying fatigue already. When I started this stage, I was already fairly fatigued. It was like, I spent 1 day attempting a breakaway and not even going into it, and then just sat on for 2 simple stages. I should be in good shape. I've got really good recovery ratings. So it's been a tough tour so far, and it's already going to start to take a toll on a number of riders. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.